got my cologne. You know how that works. Just, I'm feeling good that night.
I spoon between these two Australian men who know each other.
She took it, and she looked at me, and she went in to give me a kiss, and I fucking bolted. I panicked. I don't know what the hell to do with that.
And like Leah pushing me against the brick pillar and going, "Who is it? Who's your girlfriend?" And I was like, "It's you, okay?"
Imagine if Scarface wasn't about a drug dealer, but it was about a surgeon. That was my dad, right? He'd be like, "Say hello to my little friend." Scalpel.
9 gowns. What do you call those? Whatever they are. Evening gowns, thank you. And they are gorgeous. And I am a super friendly guy.
And like, I barely like my tongue in my own mouth. Why do I want to put it in somebody else's mouth?
Sometimes they have a partner and the partner comes in and chops their head off. And that's what this breakup was like.
Our next storyteller is, again, one of the elders of Story Slam, as I refer to them. And one of the important things about elders in a church is that they don't just automatically agree with the pastor or the person in charge. Is that they challenge them and they tell them they're not a yes man or a yes woman. They tell them maybe some things that are hard to hear. And our next storyteller has been that type of elder for me. We have butted heads at times, but there's love there, and I'm very grateful for her. She's telling a classic, a Madison Story Slam classic that you may have heard before, and it's one of my favorite stories that we've ever had on this stage. It's a funny one. It's called Poop Lake. Please put your hands together for Mel Hammond.
In 8th grade, my small Ohio town flooded, and I went to cross-country practice as normal, and on one side of where we practiced cross-country, you couldn't really see much flooding. It looked pretty good, and our cross-country coach didn't move around a lot. He wasn't much of a runner himself. He sat on the bench and ate Reese cups and then told us where to go. So he sent us along our normal route, which went over the river to the other side of the park, along a route, and then back to the bench. What he didn't know was the other side of the river was completely flooded. So I'm with my best friend Kirsten, who's a year younger than me, along with all our other cross-country athletes, and we are running along our normal route, but instead of running, we are wading through the water at first, and then we are swimming breaststroke through the water on this route. And we are having a blast, because normally cross-country practice is no fun. Nobody wants to be there. Everybody's parents is making them pick a sport, and this is the only one that any of us can do because we can't catch balls in our hands. So a day of swimming? Yes, that sounds great. So we are swimming along this route, and we finally get back to the bench where our cross-country coach has finished his Reese cups, and he is furious at us because we are not allowed to swim in the flooded lake water. It's against the rules or something, but he didn't know, so he cancels cross-country practice and sends us all home. So we're thrilled. So Kirsten and I, she lives right near the park, so we usually go to her house afterwards, just to hang out before I go home. And this time, since we got some extra time, we're dilly-dallying a little bit. We're in this flooded wonderland of the park, and we're splashing around, looking at all the cool water around. And something you should know about Kirsten is she's very well connected in this town. Her mom's a very popular Spanish teacher at the high school. Her dad's a youth pastor at the biggest church in town. And her grandpa's the mayor. So she has people all around all the time who know who she is. So me being the less connected one and also the one who's a year older, I'm the one who always goads her into doing the stuff we shouldn't necessarily do. So we're splashing around this flooded park, and we get to an extra juicy looking puddle. It looks awesome. It looks like it could be deeper than any other puddle we splashed in that day. So we start wading in, and let me tell you, this puddle is not a puddle. This is a swimming pool. We keep going in deeper and deeper, and our feet cannot touch the bottom. We are swimming laps. We can dive down and then like burst up through the water like Little Mermaid style. Like, awesome. So we're swimming around. A car drives by along the nearby road, slows down, stops, and the driver leans his head out the window. What do you know? It's the mayor of the town, Kirsten's grandpa. And he squints his eyes and he looks at us and he said, "Kirsten? Melissa? You're swimming in shit." And we're like, "What?" He's like, "The sewer flooded. You're swimming in a lake of shit." And Kirsten at first, to her credit, is like, "Oh no." But I'm like, "Kirsten, we are having a blast. And we are already in the poop lake. It's too late." So, you know what we did? We dove back down and did some more Little Mermaid jumps out of the water. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mel. Whew. That's, you're in deep shit. That was great.